a flickering flame, but in a steady rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. It was cold and blue, unlike any flashlight he had ever seen. He narrowed his eyes and tried to reason with himself. Maybe it was a camper with some weird new gear. Maybe it was a drone someone lost. But none of that made sense, not this deep in the forest, not where no trail lead, and definitely not in the middle of Dead Man's Hollow. He slowly reached for his rifle. Not to use it, not yet, but for the comfort of it. The metal felt colder than usual in his grip. The clearing was just 20 or 30 feet ahead, but every step toward it would mean exposing himself. He waited, watching. The light didn't change or grow. It stayed exactly where it was, glowing softly behind the bushes. The forest, however, seemed to grow darker. Clouds swallowed what was left of the daylight, and the temperature dropped fast. The wind stilled, and the only sound left was the faint electric hum coming from the direction of the glow. Unable to resist, Tyler began to move, inch by careful inch. He crept low to the ground, sweeping his boots silently through the leaves. As he reached the edge of the bushes, he could finally see more clearly. His heart skipped. In the middle of the clearing was an object, metallic, oval-shaped, and half buried in dirt. It was no cabin, no tent, no hunting equipment. The surface was smooth but weathered, like it had been there a long time, yet the light it emitted was modern. Or futuristic. The blue glow came from thin lines running across its shell, pulsing softly like veins under skin. Tyler's breath fogged in the air. He could feel something, a vibration, maybe faint, running through the ground beneath him. He adjusted his grip on the rifle. Inside the object, he saw something move, not clearly, but enough to know it wasn't empty. The motion was slow, deliberate. A shape, tall, thin, humanoid. But the proportions weren't right. The limbs were just a little too long. The head moved, not like a curious person, but like an animal sensing heat. It didn't look out at him, not yet, but he had the horrible feeling that it knew he was there. For a long moment, he couldn't move, couldn't think. His survival instincts screamed at him to run, but curiosity, that dangerous, human weakness, held him frozen in place. The rifle suddenly felt useless, like a toy. What was he even looking at? A secret military craft? Some sort of experimental technology? Or was it something far older or not from here at all? Then, without warning, the light began to dim. Not flicker dim, as if it sensed him watching. The shape inside tilted its head slowly, ever so slightly, and Tyler's blood turned to ice. Time seemed to slow around Tyler as he crouched at the edge of the clearing. His body locked in place by sheer instinct. The dimming light from the pod wasn't just a visual change, it felt like the entire forest reacted to it. The air grew heavier, thick with the scent of damp earth and something unfamiliar.